Hi, my name is Dr. John Douillard, and I want to talk to you today about exercise. I know many of you are frustrated because you exercise really hard and you don't see the benefits. Research shows that when folks exercise regularly, moderate to vigorous exercise, they only lose about 2 to 4 pounds. You go for a 3-mile jog, you burn 300 calories. That's the amount of a bowl of soup and a small salad. It's not a lot of calories when you're trying to lose weight. So why is it that that extra weight around your belly is so hard to burn off with exercise? Well, one reason is because exercise is perceived by the body as a stress. Under stress, it produces cortisol, a stress-fighting hormone, and insulin, an energy-driving hormone, to give you the energy to get up a tree and save your life. But any excess energy that was delivered gets quickly stored as fat, and it loves to store it around your belly. As a matter of fact, the fat around your belly is about 4 times as sensitive to insulin and cortisol as the subcutaneous fat, say, on your arm. So it's very important for us to realize that when you're under stress and producing excess cortisol and insulin, you're probably going to store more fat. And what's worse is after the exercise, the brain goes, uh-oh, we better refuel. So more cortisol is stimulated, more insulin is stimulated to tell the body to take anything it can find and store it again around your belly as fat. It even triggers a hormone called, or inhibits a hormone called leptin, which is the appetite hormone that basically tells you that you're full. But when this is inhibited, you never get that message. That stress triggers a hormone called ghrelin, which says, I'm hungry. So now we have this post-exercise hunger where we start craving comfort foods and oftentimes eat way more than the 300 calories we burned in our 3-mile jog. It's the problem. So how do we solve this problem? Well, one way, Ayurvedically, and I wrote about this years ago in my book, Body, Mind, and Sport, is to learn how to exercise without the stress, to actually breathe in a way that tells your nervous system the war is over. Now, how you do that is by breathing through your nose. If you saw a bear in the woods, you'd probably take a gasping breath, and that would trigger upper chest breathing, upper chest receptors where the stress fight or flight receptors are located, or predominantly located. And when you breathe through your nose, taking a deep breath in through your nose, the air goes all the way down more efficiently into the lower lobes of your lungs, where there's a more predominance of parasympathetic, repair, calm, rejuvenating receptors. So one way to help the body not respond to exercise as a upper chest, life-threatening, fat-storing emergency is to learn how to be a good nose breather. And in the article associated with this video, I give you all kinds of really cool little exercises to learn how to do that. One of them is to go for a walk and count how many steps you take for one inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4 steps for the inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4 steps as I exhale. And then as you're walking, try to go up to 5 steps during the inhale and 5 steps during your long exhale. And keep working on that until you can get a whopping 20 steps on your inhale and 20 steps on your exhale. Start to extend the breath deeply and through the nose. We also teach in a lot of the articles that I've written in my 3-season diet book, my Body, Mind, Sport book, we talk about how to use what I call Darth Vader breathing during the exhale, which is a Ujjayi breathing technique where you make a little constriction in the back of the throat and you make this kind of snoring sound like this. When you do that, if you were to do that right now, take a breath in and then take a breath out. When you make that sound, you'll feel your tummy engage. And that stomach contracts onto the diaphragm, which contracts onto the heart. And it's called an abdominal diaphragmatic cardiac massage. And it literally triggers a nerve in your heart called the vagus nerve and slips your brain into a alpha state or a relaxation state in your brain. Makes you more calm. So the body's going, hey, I'm running really fast, but I'm breathing really deep, and you know what? I'm not feeling the stress. And that's what we want to do, is begin to create efficiency while you exercise so the body's not responding to the exercise as a cortisol boosting, insulin boosting, leptin inhibiting, ghrelin producing, fat storing, sugar burning emergency. And that's exactly what exercise does, which is why many times after the workout we go and eat way more calories than we burn and simply can't get to that fat in those unwanted places. So please check out the article in this video associated with this video where I go into the detail of how to engage in some of these very cool, simple exercises about how to learn how to be a nose breather. And even if you already know how to be a nose breather, some really cool techniques of how to become a much better and more efficient nose breather. And the folks who know my Body, Mind, Sport book and my nasal breathing techniques, it's, and a lot of you may have some trouble, and I get emails all the time about this. It's all about the efficiency of that breath. So the more we can get tips and learn how to be a better nose breather, the better we're going to use that nasal breathing into moderate to vigorous and even competitive exercise. Thanks for listening. I'm Dr. John Douillard.